Hello and welcome to Preface, coming to you from on All 24 News from the International Book Fair here in Algiers. Joining me or joining us today is someone who lives and breathes cinema, someone who witnessed the Algerian cinema since its first steps, someone who lived the Algerian cinema, widened the Algerian cinema, and also wrote and analyzed the Algerian cinema. Today we have the honor and privilege to welcome Professor Ahmed Bjawi. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you very much. Thank you indeed for your invitation.
You're the
I'm
most
very
welcome.
happy to be with you.
We are more than happy to have you. Professor, you have witnessed the Algerian cinema, you have seen the Algerian cinema, you have participated in the Algerian cinema since, let's say, before the independence and
Before the
after the independence and up to the present day. How do you define it?
Well, I have been leading a cine club since the middle of the 70s, the 50s. I started very young. I was 15 when I was called for directing a cine club in my grammar school.
In Tlemcen, I guess.
In Tlemcen, yes.
Yeah.
One of my participants was President Abdelmajid Tebboune.
Oh, nice.
He was with my colleague in the and I have a great esteem for him, a great admiration also for him. Anyway, yes, everyone knows that the Algerian cinema was born in the middle of the battle for liberation. It's amazing to say and to state that after the Congress of the Soumam in August '56, a few months after that, in December, they launched a film school, which is something incredible. I mean, they have no means, no material means, no capacities.
The colonial era.
But no, in Tunis, they started, and Colonel Commandant, one of the leader of the Liberation Army, was created this school. They trained 12 mujahideen to the camera, and these mujahideen were habilitated, were authorized to cross the borders to shoot and come back. 11 of them were martyrdoms, and they died. They passed away during the war. One of them survived, and he was the cameraman, the personal cameraman of President Boumediene after the independence. Wow. So these people were providing the filmmakers like, for example, René Vauthier and others, Hamina, Jamel Chandra, with views that they were shooting over the borders. Because nobody was authorized to go there, especially if they were not members of the Liberation Army.
Exactly.
So that was the birth of Algerian cinema during the war. The first film was made by René Vauthier, Algeria in Flames. It was a rapid success, a quick success. It was shown and aired in American networks at that time. You know, in 57, half of the homes were equipped with a TV set in America, while in France, for example, for a comparison, only 5% of the homes were equipped.
So a huge difference.
A huge difference, which made a big difference also in terms of reaching the international public opinion, because the most important things was happening in New York, in Washington, especially in New York, with the United Nations Assembly, and the fight for the
independence of
Algeria.
Independence
was fought there. So after that, after this film made by René Vauthier, many Algerian filmmakers like Jamel Chanderli, who came with his camera, with his photographic camera, still and cinema camera. They came to Tunis and they participated
started their own projects.
Yeah, they project, but also they developed a cinema service, which was very important. It was under the supervision of Mr. Mohamed Yazid. It was called the sound and image cell, la cellule image et son.
Yeah.
And this cell was in fact the producer of all the films like Zesmina, Jazeiruna, Les Fusils de la Liberté, etc. All these films were written by this staff. In this staff we had people like Pierre Chollet, Claudine Chollet, Jacques Charby, Serge Michel.
Foreign experienced.
Yes, and other Algerian people like Mahidine Moussaoui, Belhaj. So it was a team, a very powerful team, which who was in charge with the writing and the checking of the information. And later we had other people like Labudovic, who was the personal cameraman for Tito, President Tito. Okay. When he came for a report in Tunisia, he fell in love with the Algerian cause. He decided to join the army. He was member of the Algerian Liberation Army, and he was authorized because he was enrolled in the army to cross the border and to shoot in Algeria.
Yeah.
And recently we screened in Algeria, in Algiers, two films made by a Serbian filmmaker called Mila Turajlic, who made a film about Labudovic. And we discovered that he had 80 kilometers of rushes.
Wow.
Of film rushes, which are not, most of them have not been used.
Exploited, yeah. They
yes.
were not used.
Absolutely.
So, is there any project maybe to use those archives?
Yes, there is. Especially the National Army is having contacts with the Serbian authorities in order to recover this
the negative form
the negative
of the archive.
and to exploit them, because we watched something, maybe extract from these films, which were absolutely amazing, extraordinarily significant on the and a testimony on the
Algerian Revolution.
On the Algerian Revolution.
So, as you have said, cinema works in diplomacy, and also it's another voice of diplomacy.
Absolutely.
How do you think the Algerian cinema at that era that you have just been describing helped in internationalizing the Algerian cause?
Look, this is due to people who have a genius view on how to win the battle, how to fight the battle. They were aware, like people like Abban Ramdan, especially Abban Ramdan during the Congress, the Sumam Congress. He advocated that okay, we are fighting with the weapons, but the weapons should be accompanied and backed by diplomacy. And from that time, they decided to reach the heart of the public opinion. They knew that everything was going to be played on the ground in New York, within the American public opinion, because the Republicans were backing the French theory, but the Democrats were hesitating. And for example, the top of this diplomacy was when Abdelkader Chanderli, who was the ambassador of the provisory government of Algeria, met John Kennedy, and they became friends. The same with Mohammed Yazid. They were very much introduced in America, and one day the French ambassador saw Jamal Chanderli and John Kennedy taking a sandwich together, and he sent a cable saying, well, this is very, very important. They are friendly, using the propaganda against France, so you have to be awake. So it was the beginning of the diplomatic defeat of France at that time. And in '61, the provisional government of Algeria screened two films, It was Yasmina and Jazairuna. Yasmina, Mohammed Yazid said Jazairuna was made and intended to show the capacities, the military capacities of the Algerian Revolution, showing an army which was well dressed and everything. Much of discipline.
A whole country, not
Yes.
only a random.
It was a country.
Group
It
of
was
people.
it was a state. It was a country. It was everything which was preparing the independence.
A real
Not
government
only
and
not
real
only
army.
insurgencies. So and the second film was Yasmina. It was the story of a little girl who lost her parents, and it was intended to make the people cry in their home. He said. Many people cried when they saw this young people called Yasmina. She was having a chicken in her hand, and she said, "This is Zina, my friend." And this was the beginning also of the animal oriented feeling in America, and it made a lot in favor of the Algerian cause. The day after, the United Nations Assembly voted for independence of Algeria and voted also for extending the liberation for all the countries who were still under the colonial rule. It was a revolution in terms of, changing the world. Revolution, res volere, changing the things of republic. The whole world was changing because 2/3 of the population in the world were acceding to independence, to freedom. And for me, the Algerian independence, the Algerian war for independence, and this decision was the most important event in the 20th century.
Exactly. Professor, Algerian films are being selected in several festivals across the border, maybe in the international arena. But it is, if we can say, it is rare when they reach international audiences. What do you think this relates to? What do you think are the causes for this?
First of all, the Algerian cinema inherited this tradition of war, of resistance, of quality, which was established during the War of Liberation, and it's also inherited the right to be the priority among the arts. This is something which that we should not never forget. So this is why after independence we had the quality. Maybe we didn't have the quantity, but the quality was there.
Exactly.
Every filmmaker, should it be a woman or a man, would not accept to lower or to make commercial films, for example. We are reputed for films of quality. Immediately after independence, we had films like Such a Young Peace, for example, in Si Jeune Paix by Jacques Charby, the Wind of Ores, also the climax was of course the Chronicle of the Years of Ambers by L'Akhdar Hamina, who won the Golden Palm in Cannes. We had a lot of prizes, of awards, but you are right. I mean, there is a problem of distribution. This question is vital because we decided in the 60s to nationalize, to give the monopoly of the distribution of the exhibition to the state, and we lost our contact with the international market. And now it's time to recover this relation, because the fact that the films were produced only by Algerians, by Algerian money also.
Algerian means.
They had Algerian means and financial means. I mean, funded by Algerian capacities. They could not reach the international market. Let's see, for example, an example with the Battle of Algiers. The Battle of Algiers was co-produced by a private company, Casbah Film, and an Italian company. And the combination of the two private companies made the film reach the international
Certain success, yeah.
If we compare this film with the Golden Palm, I mean, a Golden Palm should be seen everywhere. It was not distributed outside, so we have to get back to the network of film theaters which we had. We had 550 theaters in Algeria. We lost this network. We need to have the public come back to the theaters. We need to have foreign films succeeding here, and when they succeed, they make money. They also are interested in distributing our films. So this is the challenge of the future, of the present and the future. We have to recover and to take over in order to reinstall the system which was prevailing and the virtual circle.
You have spoken how Algerian cinema participated in diplomacy in let's say in the colonial era and then even after independence. But do you think cinema is doing not the same job, but it's doing its part with the same level as previous years?
During the War of Independence, the Independence War, or the War for Independence, the cinema proved that it was every film was an ambassador, and now the good films, the artistic films, are every one of them, each of one of them is an ambassador. I mean, when you see the Last Queen, for example, the Last Queen, I screened this film. I had the opportunity to be invited in Oregon University, and they were watching this film, and they were absolutely amazed by the quality, and they said they had nothing to lose in comparison with the Hollywood films. So they said, this film was made by Algerian? Yes, it was made by Algerian. So it gained a lot of hearts. Other films, I mean, even when we go to festivals, every time we have a film which is watched by an audience, it is something which is playing a role, and a positive role, a positive contribution to the image of Algeria. Which is the thing which is important is to promote an image of Algeria which is of tolerance, of capacities, of cleverness. And our films, alhamdulillah, I would say,
they have reached this. They have reached this. Yeah, you have also said cinema is a mirror and an archive too.
Absolutely.
So,
yes, please.
What parts of Algerian society do you think have been reflected in or captured in cinema?
Yes, I wrote a book on which in New York. It was published by Macmillan, by Palgrave Macmillan, called Algerian Cinema in 45 lessons. In 45 lessons, yes. And in this book, I was taking examples of succeeding films, of achieving films, and I was talking about the context, the political context, to show that they were a mirror to a period of time. A period of time. I would say, for example, that the Battle of Algiers, which was produced immediately after independence, which was reflecting the reality of the streets. I mean, we have the same costumes, we have the same cars, the same people, and it was something which was a mixing between documentary and fiction. And it was reflecting very correctly and very truly the situation during the war, the Battle of Algiers. What the French were called the Battle of Algiers. They were leading a battle. We were resisting. This is very different. Very different. Another film, for example, the Taaliyah is a film about Algiers. It is reflecting the hope for the young people, for the kids, to take over and to be the future of Algeria, of an Algeria which is rich and prosperous and everything. If you take, for example, Omar Getlatu, it is also about the young people who were to some extent on the margin of the society and prepared to serve fundamentalism maybe. So it was also the beginning, it was in 76, the beginning of something which was moving in the society.
Something external in the Algerian society.
Because they felt to some extent marginalized, yes, and frustrated. It was the beginning of the problem of homes, of marriage. They had many problems. Take, for example, later films like movies like the Last Queen, for example. The Last Queen is telling about the remote past of Algeria, the remote history of Algeria, that we were not born in November '54, but we had a long history in Algeria. In the Middle Ages, we are talking 5 or 6 languages, including the Greek language, including the Turkish language, the German language. The people were civilized. They were very highly.
If you permit me, Professor, at a certain time in the Algerian cinema, and I'm speaking about the most recent times, the Algerian cinema witnessed or maybe had some criticism about the difference between what the real society is and what's being broadcast. Maybe some scenarios, some movies, especially when it came to dialect at a certain part of time. Dialect in movies was not the same as dialect in real life. What do you think this relates to?
Yes, but the problem of the language, we should remember that after independence, there were colloquial languages with slang or a dialect with a pronunciation, only a problem of pronunciation from the east to west. But now it's unified. After independence, to some extent, many people were trained in French, and they had some difficulties to use the Arabic language, the colloquial Arabic language. But slowly, for example, in Omar Getlatu, we have the local language of Algiers. It was reflecting, it was a mirror of the situation of the young people in Algiers. If you take, for example, the chronicle of the age of embers, you have some texts of Melhoun, of the poetry, the popular poetry, written by Rachid Boujidra, the great author. Rachid Boujidra, who's writing these poems, and they were beautiful. It was something between the classical Arabic and the colloquial Arabic, but in poetry. Again, we had another experience with a film, a documentary film, archive films, which was made by Azdin Maddour. How much I love you, سنوات المحبة. And we called Abdelkader Alloula to write the commentary. The commentary was beautiful. I mean, very
was known
for the quality of his
unique
and
style.
we tried. I was at that time ruling and managing the film department in the television, and I produced this film by Azdin Maddour, and we tried to call people who were mastering and had good command of classical and colloquial Arabic. And the theater, the Algerian theater, is a provider of this kind of beautiful Arabic Algerian. I am advocating for saying that it's not Arabic. It's not, just like the Egyptians are saying that their films are talking Egyptian. We are talking Algerian.
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 So.
And we have another example, if you allow me.
Of course.
It's Bouhamama, l'épopée du Sheikh Bouhamama, which are produced also. And we had the the opportunity and the luck. We were very lucky to have Mr. Boualem Bessayh as a writer. He was also somebody who was mastering and have an excellent command of Arabic. And the Arabic which is used there in this film was exemplary. So now the problem, the filmmakers are confronted to when they make a film which is reflecting the present situation, they have to use the language of the street. If you are in Tbilisi or in Algiers or in Oran, you have to use the local language, to be
local dialect,
to be true, to be
local variety
absolutely,
of language.
Absolutely.
So, as someone, Professor, as someone who has seen the Algerian cinema for a long time, how do you see the present cinema nowadays?
The present cinema, I mean, the difference is the presence of the presence in the middle term of the audience, of the public. In the 60s, 50s, and 70s, we had, as I said before, 450 theaters. Most of them are closed now. And the audience now is no longer accustomed to see a film on a big screen.
Especially with the emergence of technology, of
the new
smartphones.
technologies, yes. Yeah. But you know, the new technologies are living together with the cinema theaters in Turkey, in Europe, in Spain. So why not in Algeria? I mean, we have to build. Maybe what we need now is to forget the theaters with the mono screen theaters, to go to the multiplex. When you have the choice, when you have the capacity, a big offer of 5, 6 screens in the same mall, everybody is going to stay. They have to watch the films in good conditions.
Maybe finding new ways to attract.
New ways.
The
we have
audience.
to adapt the public and the production to the new rules of the technology. I mean, we have to be equipped with a DCP, digital cinema process, projectors, and we have
all
to
the necessary means.
All the necessary, the sound and image necessary means.
Don't you see technology nowadays as a threat to the cinema?
Yes, this technology. We should not be afraid of the new technologies, because we have to master, control them, to use them and not to let them use us. It's exactly the same with the artificial intelligence. It's a mean, it's a tool. It should not be something which is under control, out of control.
Thank you so much, Professor Ahmed Bjawi, for your insightful conversation. We
everything which we were talking about is in this book.
We invite people.
It's a collection.
Yeah.
It's a collection of articles which were edited in America, in Britain, in Great Britain, in Germany, in English. They were written directly in English, and I tried to collect them and to put them in a book in order to put them under the supervision of the young people, the young students.
Thank you so much, Professor Ahmed Bjawi.
Thank
We
you for
invite
your
people
invitation.
who would like to read the book 7 Decades of Algerian Cinema. You can find it here in the book fair in Algiers. Thank you, dear viewers. You have been with me, Usama Ayadi, joined by Professor Ahmed Bjawi. Till next time.